Hey, what's up, Closer fam? It's your friendly, hyperactive Knucklehead plus Ultraman, and today we're going to continue and actually get into the real story of what if Naruto was adopted by Jiraiya. As always, a quick recap. In part 0, we laid the groundwork for this scenario, establishing that Naruto has a lot more development in this timeline, even having become a Genin earlier, but due to his arrogance is being forced to return to the Leaf and join a Genin squad, which you guys voted on, and you voted on Team 7. Sorry to disappoint the other voters, but we will probably try and do a redux where we do the other timelines with the other teams. The third Hokage looks over at a few files, and then back at Jiraiya and the fuming Naruto, informed them that the best team he could think of was Kakashi's. Right now, it was made up of the Rookie of the Year and 2 civilian family ninja, so Naruto could definitely even this team out some. He tells them that teams will be assigned tomorrow morning and they are dismissed, while Naruto is dragged away by his adoptive dad to an inn. That night, Naruto demands more information on why Jiraiya was making him join a Genin squad, but is quickly silenced when Jiraiya gets aggravated at the constant whining. He then goes on to ask Naruto how many friends he had, and is unsatisfied with the answer of no one really. He then asks who is important to him, and Naruto blushes a bit, having to be so mushy about his feelings, but mumbles out that Jiraiya was important to him. Jiraiya sighs, explaining that while their training had done wonders for his strength, his bonds were lacking, and they were essential to growing stronger. Naruto scoffs at this idea, and Jiraiya smirks and asks if he thinks that he alone could beat Gamabunta. The idea of this actually makes the blonde girl pale, but Jiraiya then introduces the idea of what if he and a million of his clones were able to fight Gamabunta? Wouldn't that be a much easier fight for him to win? He explains that love and companionship were a powerful force, and that he and the Sannin really worked very hard on their teamwork, even though it didn't end up turning out the best of ways at the end. So teamwork was the last thing that Naruto heard before being ordered to get some sleep, as in the morning he'd had to report to the Leaf Village Ninja Academy. The next morning, Naruto makes it to the academy on time, and for the first time we see another aspect of Naruto's character in this timeline. Yeah, he was raised by Jiraiya, so... Naruto begins to scan the classroom with lecherous eyes, and only notices 3 girls that he really took notice of. One sitting in the very back seemed very gloomy and quiet, and 2 in the center of the class currently arguing about who would sit next to a black-haired boy. The blonde was the one who really caught his eye. He took a seat next to her, actually trying to chat her up a bit. Though, keep in mind, Naruto has never really had much interaction with people outside of Jiraiya and those of the Toads on Mount Myoboku, so his game was kind of weak. Iruka entered soon after and made a small announcement about Naruto, just stating that he was a former student of the academy that passed a year ago, before this class, and was just now being assigned to a Genin team. Most people didn't care, like Shikamaru. His curiosity was pretty much satisfied, though Sasuke did take a high interest in this, seeing that Naruto must have some actual skill to him, and began to size him up. He grew up angry and insecure, thinking that he probably should have graduated a year early as well. If he had not, he was definitely not ready to take on his brother. So, teams begin to be announced, and Iruka finally gets to Team 7, announcing its members to be Uzumaki Naruto, Haruna Sakura, and Uchiha Sasuke. This still does get reactions from the 3. Naruto is kind of sad that he wasn't teamed up with Ino, as he felt she was probably the hottest girl in their class. And Sakura is pretty happy to be teamed up with Sasuke, though Sasuke was very interested in Naruto, and at this point really wanted to spar with him and see where he was compared to him. The rest of the teams are soon assigned, and Naruto and the others of his team end up waiting for Kakashi like in canon. Though in this timeline, I don't think they'd be as bored. Sakura knows nothing about Naruto, and would probably be asking him like a myriad of questions, as I don't think she'd be too annoyed with him in this timeline, as she's just now meeting him. I think that Naruto would enjoy this attention from another female, even though it wasn't Ino, and answers most of her questions, which actually gets Sasuke to listen into some of them when the subject involves strength. With Kakashi, at the moment, he was actually talking to Jiraiya, who was telling him about some of Naruto's problems, and what he needed Kakashi to demonstrate to him. Kakashi arrives to find his squad chatting amicably, with no real pranks or anything, and says that his first impressions of them are, they're pretty boring. He then orders them up to the roof, where introductions take place. Everyone's introductions remain mostly the same. Sakura's dislikes pertain only to Ino though, as Naruto was never really there to annoy her, though she does kind of see him as a pervert in this timeline. Naruto's answers are extremely different. He mentions his likes being playing with the toes on the Mount Myoboku and training, his dislikes being when Jiraiya makes him do unnecessary things, and says that his dream is to one day surpass the 4th Hokage and be the strongest ninja ever. He doesn't say he wants to be Hokage, but he does say that he wants to be the strongest in the village. See, Jiraiya hasn't told Naruto that Minato is his father, just that Minato sacrificed himself for Naruto, and that the kid had a lot to live up to. I'm not saying that Naruto won't want to be Hokage ever, but that's just not what his goal is right now. Sasuke now takes an even bigger interest in this declaration, and realizes that he has to test himself against Naruto ASAP. Kakashi hears all this and gives orders about where to meet tomorrow for the second test, which Jiraiya had actually suggested to be the bell test, specifically for the sake of Naruto learning more about teamwork. Now, I say we skip to when the test begins. Sasuke and Sakura scatter away like they did in the original canon, while Naruto sticks around, noticing Kakashi's book and begins to conversate with him about it, telling him how he really liked the new addition of Make-Out Tactics and how he actually helped with a lot of the research that Jiraiya did for it, before declaring loudly that he would defeat Kakashi by himself and earn the right to continue his career alone, without a team. Now at first, Kakashi keeps the book out, but soon realizes that he may need to use just a small percentage more effort in this fight than he would in the original timeline, because Naruto has some pretty decent taijutsu. After a while, Naruto actually makes a pretty decent grab for the bells, but Kakashi puts the book away and engages Naruto with a quick flurry of combat. It doesn't take long for Kakashi to pin Naruto down with his foot on his back and telling him to yield. But Naruto just wraps his arms around Kakashi's leg with a smirk and opens his mouth, showing an explosive note on his tongue that was already burning before he yells out, Naruto style, explosive clone jutsu. Kakashi's eye widens and he quickly realizes that he's going to have to try and dispel this clone as soon as possible. But it's too late and he ends up being blown up into the air where a myriad of clones jump from the tree line and begin to yell, Naruto style shuriken shadow clone jutsu. This was pretty weak. It was just them all throwing the contents of their shuriken at the target. But it was also pretty effective as this was a lot of shuriken. They all sink into the airborne body of Kakashi, which falls seemingly dead, and Naruto's clone dispel as he begins to loudly brag. Over where he's hiding, Sasuke is shocked, thinking that he'd already missed out on his chance, but then watches the corpse of Kakashi transform into a log. Sasuke then attacks Kakashi, and I'd say that it goes about the same. Though, after seeing Naruto's fight with him, I'd say that he's been able to study Kakashi's moves a bit more closely and get a decent read on them. So let's say that Kakashi has about a 1% harder time than he did in the original timeline. I think Sakura also has the genjutsu put on her, and the three end up in mostly similar situations. Though, instead of worrying about lunches, I think Naruto is more upset about being beaten by Kakashi. It ends up being a major wake-up call for the young ninja, that there are others outside of Jiraiya who were very strong and could beat him. He realized that his perspective had been so skewed because the person he was fighting against or training against was so strong, he felt that anyone under him could be beaten by Naruto himself. He realized he'd been scaling himself up against a mountain, whereas it was more of a plain, and the world was very, very wide, and there are much more strong ninja out there than Naruto originally thought of. Now this Naruto is more prideful, but he's by no means stupid, and he remembers the lectures from Jiraiya and sets off to find his teammates. Let's get to where they all reunite. Naruto explains that they need to work together in order to beat Kakashi, and I think that Sasuke would be extremely against this idea, likening it to making himself weaker by needing to team up with others, and Sakura would disagree with whatever he said. This only makes Naruto frustrated, and he tries to explain that if you add two 10s together, you get another 20. You're not going to lose the value of either of those 10s, but Sasuke still refuses. Then Naruto remembers Sasuke's goal and plays to his insecurities, saying that an academy student couldn't be an Avenger, and if Sasuke really wanted to pass and kill whoever he wanted to, they were going to need to work together. I think this would be the thing that could get them actually to work together and begin to make a plan, even though Sasuke and Sakura would still not be very happy about it. Kakashi waits in the clearing, noting that the group only has about 5 minutes left, when he hears the call of Naruto, and is soon bombarded with the blondes, as Sasuke actually comes out of the woods from the other side. The two aren't really working together though. They're more or less hurting each other a lot by getting in the way of each other and not trying to sync the movements up together. Though, these attacks are enough to push Kakashi into actually putting his effort and attention onto those two. He does actually notice Sakura on the edge of the forest cheering Sasuke on, but not really helping, and scoffs, assuming that they hadn't really made a plan. Just then, a huge army of 100 plus Naruto begin to rush out of the woods, and Kakashi is actually forced to take them seriously, throwing clones into each other, pushing and pulling Sasuke, and even making a shadow clone to help cut his effort in half. His blood actually runs a bit cold when he hears wind-style air bullet and fire-style fireball, and sees Naruto and Sasuke on opposite sides of him, but replaces himself with a clone, as the attacks combine and make a huge inferno, scorching the field and destroying most of the clones in the process. As Kakashi lands back on the ground, he's actually caught off guard, as Sasuke on his right and Naruto on his left both get in a solid punch on his cheeks, ringing his bell for a second, before he recovers and grabs both their fists, trying to throw them away, but notices something. He didn't hear Sakura cheering anymore. Just then, the ground beneath his feet bursts open, as Sakura and a Naruto clone popped out underneath him with a loud "Cha!" With Naruto and Sasuke already in his grasp and the surprise of this situation, he couldn't avoid the swipe in time, and ended up having one of the bells taken by the Pinkette before yelling out that their time was up. Naruto and Sasuke are left completely tired, while Sakura cheers at her success, but soon realizes that she would be the only one to pass. Though Kakashi was extremely happy with this, and something told him that this had been Naruto's idea, as Jiraiya had told him that the boy was very innovative as a tactician. There was no way that Sakura could have tunneled under the ground by herself. It had to be one of his clones that helped her. He happily says that they all pass, which actually gets the group to cheer. Even Sasuke can't help but smile. This by no means changes his mind completely on his view of power. He still wants to get stronger by himself, but this teamwork concept was effective here, and could maybe be applied elsewhere as well. Naruto, however, was beginning to slowly understand the value of teamwork. Jiraiya was always talking about how strong the Sannin were individually, but together would tell him that they were near impossible, and imagine that this teamwork concept was why. In fact, this team could in fact be the new Sannin. He thinks this kind of to himself, but he kind of likes the idea of it. He wants to surpass not only Minato, but Jiraiya as well. I stated that this Naruto is a lot like Bakugo, but that's more of his pride. He has no real qualms against getting stronger. He really wants to get stronger and surpass people, and if doing that through teamwork is the way to do it, I think he'd be very open to it. Not only that, but Jiraiya is the one who trained him, who is someone who is very teamwork heavy in his younger years. So I think teamwork would kind of come very slowly to Naruto, but when it finally got to him, he would be very, very effective in it and very, very heavy in it. Little does Naruto know that Kakashi is actually thinking along the same lines, and realizes that this could be the chance that he missed with Obito and Rin, a team that could be like a family to him, and that he really wanted that. But that Plus Ultra fans will be leaving this timeline off for now, though I would like to kind of ask you guys what you want to see next here. Now, because Naruto has been on multiple C ranks in this timeline and has been doing D ranks for a long time, he'll be more used to them, and as such won't complain much, if at all, about them. Sasuke would still want to do a C rank very soon, and Sakura really wouldn't care. So my question to you is, do you want them to do the original canon with a few D ranks and then the Land of Waves, or can we implement a situation where Naruto convinces Kakashi to give them some more training and focus more on the D ranks? Sasuke and Sakura are actually behind Naruto in terms of chakra control, so they have some things to catch up on. I think Naruto would actually kind of convince Kakashi to teach them both tree walking and water walking, which Sasuke would probably pick up very quickly. Naruto already knows these things, and Sakura picks up on them very quickly because she has very good chakra control. So because he has a bigger chip on his shoulder, I think that Sasuke would be pushed to pick them up faster. Other than this, I think that Kakashi would have Sasuke and Naruto spar a lot, as Sasuke would be itching to test himself against Naruto, and Naruto needs more and more examples of other people who can rival him, especially his own age. I think that during this, he could be helping Sakura kind of learn some genjutsu. This would also mean that Sasuke would not have awoken his Sharingan before the tuning exams, and that he and Naruto will have improved a bit, but not a drastic amount. Sakura will at least have something to implement before going into the exams. Now, they could go on a C rank maybe before the tuning exams, like maybe that month or so beforehand, but nothing like the Land of Waves. It would be an actual C rank mission. As for what would happen if we went down the Land of Waves, well, you could see that if you vote for that in the poll up top. But yeah, guys, polling the iCard up top. So let me know what you guys want to see. And as always, go beyond Plus Ultra. I'll see you guys next time. Date bayo. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And thanks for watching.